Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel, Wheelman81 here, and today I have for you the NMA Round 3. This is the Frostbite GP. This race is out in Odessa, Washington, probably the furthest race from me, and this was a crazy one, probably my best ride to date. Conditions were a lot better than last year. Last year it was super dusty and it was pretty cold. It lived up to the Frostbite GP name. But this year it was kind of warm and nice, and the track was in great condition. This track is basically sandy, some deep sand powder in some places, some packed sand like you see here with rocks, some steep hills. And my strategy was just start passing people. I told myself going into this race, just pick up the speed from the beginning, stay with the pack, and start passing people as soon as I can. Bit of a preview of the huge sand whoops that are in this race. They were absolutely gargantuan. There are a couple of huge hills in this race. Here's the first one, and it doesn't look like that much on camera, but people were falling down and trying to get up some of the other ones, and it was pretty tough. So we're heading through the grass section here, and last year, if you remember, it was pretty icy through here because it was a wet ground and it was freezing weather, so people were falling down from the ice. But this year, it was absolutely great track to ride. The grip was good, it wasn't dusty, you could really make some time through here if you pushed it. I was trying to. So we're coming up to the infamous bridge crossing here in the grass section. If you remember last year it ate my bike, and it looks like it's already got another victim in this race. Like I said, I'm trying to pick up the speed in this grass section, and I get a pass there. Rolling into the first checkpoint, but to get there you got to make it up this hill with these pretty crazy sand whoops. These hills with the sand whoops were pretty tough. They were no joke.
Whoa, that's gonna catch people. Damn, he's a big whoop.
talk about the sand whoops in this race a little bit before we go any further. They were just the biggest sand whoops that are in any race in the NMA series. Warren Rapids had some serious ones last year, but this year they kind of smoothed the track out, but Odessa still has them, and they were absolutely brutal. 3 laps in, and I was barely able to stand. My shoulders were killing me from bouncing up and down and controlling the handlebars. Spoiler alert, on the second day of racing, I had nothing left in me. The trick, I think, is just to bomb across them as fast as you can and bounce across the top of them. But the slower you go, the more they punish you for going slow. And unless you've got the skill to bounce over the top of them, which I don't right now, they're just beating you up, and it's just a war of attrition. They're going to beat you down little by little by little, and you're going to regret not being fast enough to ride over the tops of them. So all that's to say, every time I hit these whoops, there's a little bit of pain in my shoulder because I'm still feeling it days, almost a week after this race. That rider's got the right idea. Just when in doubt, throttle out, bounce across the top of them. Wish I could do that. So this is another little tricky section. Even though it's just mostly flat hills, it's deep powder with ruts. And to switch across the ruts is tough because you're going through deep powder, your front tire's just doing whatever the hell it wants to do, and it's actually tough to control the bike through here. And with the deep ruts, it's tough to stay in the rut. If you move the tire a little bit, it grabs the sidewall and the knobs on the tire and pulls you in one direction. So it's surprisingly tough through there. I fell twice in the race, and it was both because of those deep powdery rut sections. This section here, up towards that curve coming up, you can see in the mini map, is one of the places I fell on the third lap. It was just that my arms were tired, I was struggling to control the bike, I was hitting these ruts with the deep powder, and you kind of just whip it and fall over. It's not a big, exciting crash, but it's just one of the things that happens. Of course, I'm looking at that pack up ahead and thinking, man, if I could just go a little faster, I could catch them and pass them. But with these whoops and the sand, and it's tough, guys. I'm trying to pass these people. I'm not just trying to do a trail ride with some friends. I'm trying to race, but it gets tough. that complaining about the big whoops aside, like I've said before, I am starting to get pretty comfortable at riding whoops, and when I was hitting these big open straight sections like this, even though it's mostly just sand and whoops, I was trying to use it to pass people. I would see them up there and I was thinking, man, they're probably slowing down for these whoops. Let me just push a little harder and see if I can catch up with them. And most of the time I could usually get past someone. Throttle here a little, seeing those people up ahead, and I'm trying to pass them. Packs were definitely more spread out in this race. I think the big whoops and the deep sand was kind of pulling people apart, but it's not bad as long as I got someone in front of me that I can chase, that I can see. It only gets kind of boring if you can't see anyone. You kind of feel like you're out there riding by yourself. But again, this whole race, I was chasing someone, and I actually had a couple of really good back and forth battles with a couple of people that you'll probably see in this first lap. Probably also see in the sky there's some storm clouds, and it's going to start raining here on lap 3, which I didn't record, but I haven't ridden in a rain race before. I've ridden in mud, but a rain race turns out to be an entirely different thing, and I didn't know how to keep my goggles clean. I started riding with my goggles on top of my helmet because it was so dusty and dirty, and the water was making mud on my goggles, and man, it was just a mess. Riding with the goggles up wasn't much better because I was having to use my safety squints to keep the dust out of my eyes and the water. I ended up putting them back on after the rain stopped, but I'm going to have to figure out how to ride in the rain soon. So I've been behind these 3 riders in front of me for a little bit now, and I've been pushing on the straights trying to catch them, and I'm not getting any closer. So we're all pretty evenly matched here, and that's awesome. I like being behind people, equal skill levels, because you have to push yourself to get by them, and that's a lot of fun.
Trying to pass the green helmet, but I'm also trying to catch my breath a little bit. Goddamn.
a couple of passes here because of the rider that was picking up their bike from the fall, and that's mostly because the deep sand is just throwing people off the track. Like I said, once you get out of the groove, you get into that deep sand and it's just a bog fest and it's tough to ride in. I passed the green rider here, and now I've only got the rider in black up ahead. Coming into checkpoint 2 here, I was really thinking I don't want to lose any of the ground I've made on this rider in black with the green helmet. But now we are tire to tire, and all I got to do is figure out how to pass. But then he takes off and I'm left in the dust, so now I got to make up all that ground that I gained.
God damn, you're...
Oh, looks like he slipped a little bit. Maybe this is my chance. So you can hear in my breath that I'm getting tired. You can see I'm going a little slower over these bumps. You know, it's getting towards the end of the first lap, and because I'm going slower, I get passed by the rider with the green pants, and now I've got 2 people to pass.
Holy fucking shit. Oh, shitty fucking Christ, this is tiring. There's the big hill.
Now this big hill was the star of the race, and it ate a lot of people's bikes. It is a struggle to get up. got around the rider in black, and if I hadn't stalled my bike out, I probably would have passed the rider in the green pants too, but that's just the nature of those hills, man. They were a struggle.
Need a break.
Rider in black retakes the lead. Definitely gained a lot of ground on the green pants rider. I'm definitely thinking about how I'm going to make the pass now. So I get around the green pants rider in the deep sand, but now this guy's in front of me, and I'm thinking, well, I got to pass him back. And then there's also the rider in black up in front of me somewhere, but I don't see him anymore right now. So I've managed to close the gap and I'm right on his tire, but let's see if I can get the pass.
guys. It is tough when I'm tired. Tired AF. There's lap 1.
Looks like I've caught the rider in black. Maybe he was stuck behind someone, maybe he fell, maybe he was just resting. I'm not sure, but there he is. So the rider in the green jacket has now passed me back, even though I've caught the rider in black. So there's a lot of back and forth going on here, which is a lot of fun because you have to ask yourself, man, am I slowing down or are they speeding up? And it could be a little bit of both, you know, maybe I'm resting at the times where they're pushing and vice versa. So regardless, it's a lot of fun being in a pack and chasing people and passing people, and getting past is even fun.
Come on, come on, come on.
Got around the rider with the green jacket, and now I'm pushing hard to catch up with the rider in black because he was just in front of me, so I need to catch up and pass him. I mean, he was right there. Making my way through checkpoint 3 here. Up on the end of the first lap here. We just have to kind of go through a little bit of desert here and then through pit lane. Overall, it was an absolutely fantastic race, probably the best race I've ever ran. I ended up getting 6th place in my class out of, I think it was 13 people. I don't know, check the description below, which is the highest I've ever finished. I got some great NMA points, and I had some great battles with people out here on the track. I think I ended up going back and forth with the rider in black or the rider with the green jacket like several times. It there was definitely a rivalry going on there for a little bit, and it was a lot of fun. I was super exhausted after the race. This is a doubleheader race weekend where we race on Saturday and then we race again on Sunday morning. I camped that night on site and got up the next morning and raced, and there was literally nothing left in the tank. So when you see the next video go up, don't have high hopes for that one. I spent all my energy in this race and I got rewarded for it, but in the next race I was just looking to finish. So anywho, thanks for watching. I had a great time. I hope everyone there had a great time. Again, thanks to everyone who comes up and says, I watch your videos. That's awesome, and I really appreciate it, everyone. My next race will be the day after this one. You'll see that go up very soon. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.